In the name of God, the all-compassionate and the all-merciful.
The young man's mind was filled with questions whose answers he could not find solely in the silence of the trees or the songs of the birds. The clarity of reason, now more apparent to him, guided him toward a deeper quest. He emerged from the heart of the forest and continued his journey until he reached an ancient and magnificent structure, a place where, amidst walls covered in ivy, a wise sage sat in silence. The sage's face bore the marks of years of knowledge and contemplation, and his gaze held a depth that seemed capable of probing the very depths of the soul. The young man approached respectfully, offered a warm greeting, and sat beside the sage. A gentle breeze softly rustled the leaves of the surrounding trees, and a serene silence filled the space between them. The young man, still pondering the distinction between sensation and reason, felt a question arise within him. Young man, O wise sage, in the heart of nature I witnessed and felt many beauties. My eyes saw colors, my ears heard the songs of birds, and my skin felt the coolness of the breeze. But something beyond these senses awakened within me, something that gave meaning to these sensations. Is this what reason is? And if so, how does reason function? The sage, with a calm smile, my child, what you experienced in the heart of nature is the beginning of understanding. The senses are gateways that show you the world, but it is your reason that connects them and gives them meaning. Reason is the light that pierces the darkness of ignorance. But know that reason itself is divided into two branches: theoretical reason and practical reason. Young man, with curiosity, O master, what is the difference between these two branches? Is reason one entity that performs two functions, or are they two distinct forces within our soul? The sage, gazing deeply at the horizon before speaking, this question opens the door to a vast world of thought. Some consider theoretical and practical reason as two facets of a single essence, while others see them as two independent forces within the human soul. The first group believes that reason is a single faculty, but its name changes depending on what it contemplates. When reason seeks to understand truth, such as knowing God, perceiving His attributes, or comprehending scientific and philosophical principles, it is called theoretical reason. In this state, reason seeks knowledge for the sake of knowledge. However, when the same reason deals with matters that require action, such as understanding the beauty of justice or the ugliness of oppression, or grasping how to practice trust and surrender, it is called practical reason. This reason teaches us how to live and act. Young man, reflectively. So, if these two are one faculty performing two functions, they are like the two wings of a bird that carry us forward on the path of knowledge and action. But what about the second group you mentioned? What do they believe? The sage, with a penetrating gaze. Indeed, the second group argues that these two reasons are entirely independent of each other. They say theoretical reason's sole task is perception and understanding, whether this understanding leads to action or not. All forms of knowledge, from understanding the laws of nature to grasping philosophical principles, fall under theoretical reason. This is the reason that compelled you to reflect on the majesty of nature and comprehend its grandeur. On the other hand, practical reason is a separate force that has nothing to do with perception. Its duty is to guide human behavior and actions. This reason tells you how to behave, what decisions to make, and which path to choose in moral situations. These two reasons are like two separate rivers, each flowing on its own path, but ultimately both pour into the ocean of truth. Young man, with a smile that reflected deep understanding, Master, now I understand why, in the heart of nature, my senses were not content with merely seeing and hearing. It was my reason that connected all that I saw and heard and gave them meaning. And now I know that I must not only know but also act based on what I know. The sage, with a look of satisfaction, yes, my child, knowledge without action is like a seed that remains in the soil and never blossoms. And action without knowledge is like a ship adrift at sea without a rudder. He who uses theoretical reason to understand truth and practical reason to guide his behavior walks the path of human perfection. The young man, after hearing these words, felt a new light of understanding ignite within him. He realized that the path of knowledge and action is one where both wings of reason must be employed. With deep respect, he rose from his seat, and as his gaze fixed on the bright horizon, he continued on his way, now seeing the world not only with the eyes of sensation, but also with the eye of reason.